The colony ship Meridian's Hope had been humanity's pride, a vessel carrying 10,000 souls across the void to establish peace with the Zetherian Confederacy. But when the ship crashed on the uncharted planet of Krev 7, only 200 survived. Among them was Asil, a young Zetherian diplomat with silver skin that shimmered like starlight and eyes that held galaxies within them. The crash had changed everything. Food was scarce. Water was rationed. And fear had turned neighbors into strangers. The human survivors, led by Commander Voss, had established strict protocols. Everyone ate in the main hall, everyone except Asil. The Zetherian digestive process was different, unsettling to watch. Her people consumed nutrition through bioluminescent compounds that required her to remain perfectly still for 30 minutes, while her skin absorbed the sustenance, glowing with ethereal light. It disturbs the others, Voss had declared during the 3rd week. You'll take your meals in the lower storage area. Asil had nodded, her translator device humming softly. I understand. I do not wish to cause discomfort. So each evening, while humans gathered in the warmth of community, sharing their meager rations and stories of Earth, Asil descended alone into the cold basement. The door would lock behind her, for security, they said, and she would sit in darkness, absorbing her meal in isolation. Ferrat had noticed. He was a junior engineer, barely 22, with oil-stained hands and a mind that never stopped questioning. While others looked away when Asil walked past, he watched. While others whispered about the alien who had brought them bad luck, he remembered that she'd helped pull 3 children from the wreckage, her own arm broken in the process. On the 37th night, Ferrat made his decision. He waited until the evening meal began, until everyone was distracted by their hunger and conversation. Then he walked to the basement door. His hand hovered over the lock panel. What are you doing? A voice behind him. Marcus, one of Voss's security detail. Opening a door, Ferrat replied simply. That's against protocol. The alien feeds alone. Her name is Asil. Ferrat's fingers danced across the panel. And she's not the alien. She's a person who survived the same crash we did. You can't. The lock disengaged with a metallic click. Ferrat pulled the door open. The stairwell descended into shadow, but at the bottom, a soft blue glow illuminated the darkness. Asil sat on the bare floor, her skin radiating gentle light as she absorbed her nutrients. She looked up, startled, her large eyes widening. Ferrat? Her voice was melodic, surprised. You should not be here. Neither should you. Not alone like this. He descended the stairs, carrying his own meal tray. Mind if I join you? Asil's bioluminescence flickered with what Ferrat had learned was confusion. But your people find my feeding disturbing. Some people find a lot of things disturbing when they're scared. Ferrat sat down across from her, the glow from her skin casting dancing shadows on the walls. But I think it's beautiful, like watching a living star. For a moment, silence filled the basement. Then Asil's light intensified slightly. A Zetherian smile. You will face consequences for this, she warned gently. Probably. Ferrat unwrapped his protein bar. But here's what I learned as an engineer. Systems only work when all components are valued equally. Right now, our system is broken because we're treating you like a spare part instead of a person. Footsteps thundered on the stairs. Commander Voss appeared, Marcus behind him, both wearing expressions of anger. Ferrat, I gave explicit orders. I know what you ordered, sir. Ferrat stood, placing himself between Voss and Asil. And I'm respectfully refusing to follow it. This isn't military protocol. This is cruelty disguised as convenience. You have no idea what you're talking about, don't I? Ferrat's voice remained calm but firm. We're survivors on an alien world, and we're isolating the one person among us who actually knows how to communicate with alien species. We're letting fear make us stupid. Voss's jaw tightened. The others are uncomfortable. Then they can learn to be comfortable. Ferrat's passion finally broke through. We crossed the stars to build alliances, to prove humanity could evolve beyond our old prejudices. And at the first sign of adversity, we locked someone in a basement because she's different. More footsteps. Other colonists had heard the commotion and were gathering at the top of the stairs. Dr. Sarah Chen, the chief medical officer, pushed through. Let me see if I understand, she said, her voice cutting through the tension. We've been isolating our only xenobiology expert, the person who might help us understand the native flora and fauna. The diplomat who knows 7 languages and has family in the Confederacy, who might actually come looking for survivors. Voss faltered. I didn't think— No, you didn't. Chen descended the stairs and extended her hand to Asil. I apologize on behalf of those of us who should have spoken up sooner. Asil took her hand, her glow softening to a warm amber. There is no shame and fear, only in allowing it to define us. One by one, colonists descended into the basement. Young Maria Torres brought her portion of water. Old Samuel Wright offered his blanket. Engineer Jackson carried down a spare heater. They sat in a circle around Asil, and for the first time since the crash, the human survivors truly looked at her, not as an alien, not as another, but as one of their own. Ferrat caught Asil's eye across the circle. She inclined her head slightly, a gesture of gratitude that needed no translation. That night, the basement became the warmest place in the colony, not because of the heater, but because humanity had remembered something essential about itself, that their greatest strength had never been in their weapons or their technology, but in their stubborn, relentless refusal to let fear extinguish compassion. They had locked the alien girl in the basement to eat alone. But one human broke down the door, and in doing so reminded everyone what it truly meant to be human.